Hi, I hope everyone's doing very well today. It's a beautiful day here in Cleveland, Ohio. Beautiful day. The weather is weathering, and I just love. The feeling of the sun on my skin is like, got to be the best, one of the best feelings in the world. So, ever since I was a kid, I always loved it. Like I will love sitting in the hot car with the sun beating down on my skin, and it's just a very good feeling. So I'm really enjoying today. I'm really thankful and grateful for today. And I finally, I decided, I spoke about my next video being about codependency, and I decided to write my thoughts down this time. So that's what I did. So I'm never reading it out. My work. Wait, see my messy handwriting? Yeah, so I've struggled with codependent relationships, and I'm still technically in codependent relationships. I am learning and growing, and I'm no, I don't want you in the video, boo boo. I am learning to go with the flow and not to be triggered so easily, and also to learn to be grateful as well, right? And to be motivated, to not be stagnant, to keep working towards my goals, right? Even though I am taking the road less traveled, right? In a lot of ways, okay? So these are my thoughts about codependency and my experience as well, my truth, if you will. In my life, I have had several different kinds of codependent relationships. At times, I didn't even recognize it. At times, I did. Let's start with the friends. During my college era, I developed what I thought was a tight-knit group of friends. We had what I would say a small amount of drama and a lot of laughs. I believe the older we got, the more codependent our relationships got. I related to my friends genuinely. However, I didn't realize till hindsight that they came from a place of hostility. Okay, go inside. The reason they stayed around as long as they did is still a mystery to me. 1 second. Okay. Alrighty. Where was I? The reason they stayed around as long as they did is still a mystery to me. Okay, I'm gonna make sure it's. There we go. The next major codependent relationship was, of course, my past marriage. When all is said and done and the illusions are cleared, I was in it for love and family, and they were in it for citizenship and legal status. I had a lot of love for them and for the family we created. But even being married, I found myself chasing. But I didn't want to let go because at the time being married was everything. I wasn't going to let him abandon me just like my dad did. And so even though it was draining me, I stayed and kept the love flowing till I had none left for myself. Even brushing my own teeth became a hassle. When I moved back to Ohio with my daughters, I came into quite possibly the biggest system of codependency of my life. The time, support, and surface level love came at a cost. We don't these are like my perspective about how they saw me in the situation. Hold on. Where was I? Okay. We don't respect you was their attitude. If you are setting healthy intentions for your children, you can just forget it. We will walk all over you. Doesn't matter what you are trying to teach them. Yes, they are your children, but you came from us, so we own them. This is what I had to deal with. If I only wanted to give my children organic foods, including candy, they would buy all the candy that was not organic. If I told them they can only watch certain things, They would let them watch whatever. If they tried to take my children somewhere, they would get an attitude with me just for asking the details. The list of conflicts was long. Yes, it was made clear the rules of engagement that were placed over me. I learned to speak up and stand my ground, just like a newborn giraffe. Standing my ground was shaky at first. I possibly came on too strong, and for that I am sorry. I grew into the situation with grace, not letting anyone destroy my inner peace. Now I can effectively stand my ground with my dear sweet children, without a tower needing to fall, and walk away without losing my temper. Now let's dig a little deeper. As a single parent, I would get stressed. I started asking for breaks on the weekend with my grandparents. They would watch them overnight while I would drink and smoke with my slightly older aunt and mom. My mom does not smoke, from what I know. I had to put that disclaimer in there because now I can, understandably so, someone will want that disclaimer, okay? Because of our childhood interactions, I never 100% felt comfortable around my slightly older aunt. I refer to her as slightly older or teenager aunt because I have a lot of aunts in my family. Okay. Growing up, she was my favorite. I always thought she was so cool. In all reality, she was kind of a bad influence. She came out as a lesbian in her teenage years. At first, I was in shock because of the religious background we grew up in. But then her cool demeanor and my admiration for her led me to question if I like women also. Even taking a break from the gay pornography I watched in secret to watch the lesbian kind. There definitely were times when the line of appropriate versus inappropriate was crossed. But I always loved my aunt. She even saved my life once. Going back to our codependency, yes, because of our childhood, I never really felt comfortable around her. But I wanted to have a mommy break and relax. I wanted to chill and get high. All my friends drifted out of my life. Some I ghosted and some ghosted me. So it was my mom and my aunt who I had to hang out with. And my mom, well, I love her, but it always seemed like she was ready to argue. And that is very, very stressful. But there was no one else I had to hang out with. There was one time in particular, we were hanging out at my aunt's apartment, and my mom bought some nice and yummy treats from my favorite grocery store. My aunt had the weed, and we were having fun, listening to music. My aunt's friends also came over. The friends left first. Then my mom said she was about to go. Instantly, fear kicked in, and I was not about to be left alone with my aunt. It was time for me to go also. Now, being under the influence, I asked my mom to drive me home. She questioned me, but I was sure that I wanted to be better safe than sorry. But regardless of what happened in the past, I'm not angry or mad. The anxiety I experience around these individuals are not to make others feel bad. I see it as a reminder of keeping healthy boundaries, especially when it comes to my kids. For I know my aunt has been through even worse than I. She was groomed and assaulted by the devil incarnate. We called him Uncle Terry. Even to this day, she has some of his mannerisms. I love my family, and when I speak the truth, it is not to condemn, but to set free. Speaking my truth has set me free. And lastly, I just would like to finish with being grateful for all the growth that has happened. I'm still learning and growing from these experiences. And I recognize God allows certain people... Hold on.
Go take a bath because...
Yeah, in a little bit. Mom's going to give you a bath. And I recognize... I'm still learning and growing from these experiences. And I recognize God allows certain people and things and situations to come into our lives for a reason. When I think of the negative experiences in my life, I think of the scripture, Ephesians 6:12. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in heavenly places. So I pray for God to open our eyes to the unseen world, for him to open my eyes to the unseen world, to protect my daughters and myself. and to give them a better life experience than I and those that came before me did. I'm grateful for all the life lessons I am learning. I pray wisdom and knowledge will always be with me. Thanks for listening. So yeah, these are my thoughts about codependency. It's not easy. Sometimes we just find ourselves in these situations. Maybe we've made some poor choices to lead us to that, but sometimes things are literally out of our control. And I guess it's a moment to learn more about yourself and about other people, and opportunity for growth. And that's where I'm at right now. I am learning to work with people even though it's not always easy. Work with people even though they may not always respect me, and to not let things get under my skin, or to not let anyone take my peace. You know, and it took me a minute to learn to not allow people to take my peace. I was very reactive to people that purposely just pick fights with me. That's what it felt like. Literally, I remember one of my aunts literally picked a fight with me over macaroni and cheese. My slightly older aunt was making mac and cheese. She makes good mac and cheese. She puts like peppers in it and stuff. It's good. Use spicy cheese and stuff. And I like spicy food, so. But anyway, she had walked away to do something, and she asked me to watch her pasta that was boiling. And I told her on the phone it was too soft and she's gonna have to start over, you know. And then that apparently insulted my other aunt, who was known for making mac and cheese in the family. Like, literally, I wasn't even making it, and this individual chose to get upset about it just because I told her to reach out the pasta, and she was saying the pasta is fine, the pasta was mushy, you know. But anyway, it's just an example I'm saying of like the kind of situations that just out of nowhere happened, and the hostility that I have from those around me, like family and friends. But I love these individuals. I always have love for people. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I am always been a lover, not a fighter. And I guess I used to have a lot of pride, though, too. But when it comes to my children, it's not even an issue of pride. It's an issue of using my experiences to protect my children so that they have better life experiences. So having to have boundaries is important. You know, people don't want to recognize if people are unsafe or if something is inappropriate, and that's when you have to, no matter how it feels, it's uncomfortable, of course, because you are with a group of people that want to normalize abuse, want to normalize hush hush, right? So when you are walking away from that mentality, and you are instilling, boundaries, and you're not shaking on it, it's going to offend people. And I'm doing it with love. Like I said, that's always my goal, to be set free. Nothing bounds me anymore. I'm not bound to my past. I'm not bound to my childhood. I'm not bound to even choosing a man who doesn't love me. I'm not bound to any of that. I'm set free from it. Okay, I'll let you in, baby. So anyway, my daughter has a poo-poo. So I'm so grateful for you guys listening to me, and I hope it helps. I hope my situation, my life experiences, and my thoughts on it help you. That's the whole purpose of this, is to help others and to help myself, and to, be able to see the beautiful transition of a person growing. So I love you all. Okay, baby. I pray God heals every aspect of your life, and mind, body, and soul. Much love, and by Jessiah, Voné.